So here we are. This is the Delaware River. George Washington did something, on these very same waters. Welcome to the video. This is a documentation of what happens when you say fuck it to everything, when you say fuck it to everything, your life, and you just go and you just do what you wanted to do your whole life that you were like putting off. This week, we are going to a Bashar retreat. If you're not familiar with the teachings of Bashar, he is a higher intelligence channeled by Daryl Anka. And we're going to his retreat in Peaksville, New York. That's in a week. But before that, we're going to see what we can get into and what this whole area is like. It's supposed to be a very high vibrational area. It's supposed to be a lot of UFO sightings. I'm near Pine Bush, New York. I was coming up this mountain to go to this state forest. And really, really weird. I mean, look at this. We can camp anywhere in here if we want to. But coming up that mountain, I felt really, really weird. Like I've never felt. This is the camp spot for the night, I think. Apparently you just come and you set up and they come around and you pay them when they come around. I was like looking all over for somebody. I was like, there's nobody here. It's a Monday. It is still raining. It's been raining all day. It's gonna rain all day tomorrow. A little bit drab. First night, tent set up in the rain. Flowers that my mom gave me before I left. She's definitely watching probably the video. Hi, Mom. But if you think I'm absolutely insane, you don't have to watch. Like, you don't agree with what I'm saying. But I will say, I want to just talk about this because, so like following your highest joy, right, does not necessarily mean doing what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now may be a mistake. I don't think it is. I have full trust at this point in Bashar's teachings, and not just Bashar. Like, I don't want to just single him out. It's just like spiritual teachings in general. We're all one being. Your God, your vibration, if you follow those types of teachings, you know what I'm talking about. So it's like this, most people, and I speak for myself and my own belief systems here. This is how I feel. So I don't want to say most people, but in general, as far as I can tell, most people, they get the job, you save up for the house, and this isn't most people, but I see a lot of it. You save up for the house, you do the grind, I'm just not able to do that. Like, I don't know. I've always wanted to just travel around. But how to do that, And it's like, how long are you going to be afraid of doing it and try to, even spiritually, try to manifest that life when you could just do it? We're headed up, we just went through Craigsmore, which is on this mountain here. We're going to Sam's Point State Park. I came here yesterday. It's the first place I stopped. It was pouring rain. I did not feel like hiking right then in the pouring rain. So we're back. Same vibes, still spooky. Last night it was pouring rain all night, and I didn't even cook anything. Like, I know, set up the tent, and I took a shower, and I wasn't even gonna attempt to start a fire because it was just too wet. And I was planning on cooking on the propane stove, but I realized I had no propane. Of course, I somehow forgot to bring full propane canister. But that's alright. Last night I was having just a straight panic attack from being, I don't know what it was. It was like driving all day or what it was. But I came up here and this place spooked me out. Like this, apart from this being a high UFO area, activity area, it just spooked me out. And like, even if you didn't know that, you could tell. Just something about this place. It's not like it's super high vibes, but it's just like spooky everywhere. Like, especially up here on top of this mountain. Just spooky. We haven't made it very far, but so far, pretty cool. Foliage is extremely different than it is in the Finger Lakes, and it is extremely different than it is in the Adirondacks, which I find fascinating. We're not even that far. We're 4 hours away from where I lived. And we are, I don't know, maybe 3 hours away from the Adirondacks. But completely different foliage. Very dense. Very interesting. This honestly reminds me of Texas. The foliage and stuff. It is like thick. There would be no way you'd make it through trying to like hike through here. So this is Sam's Point State Park. Some guy was just sitting on the edge of the cliff, and he like read the folklore of this spot. Apparently it's called Sam's Point. I see some guy during the French and Indian War, and he jumped off that cliff there to escape the Indians and survived. So that's how the story goes and how it got its name, apparently. Unconfirmed story. This is the Ice Cave Trails. It just goes out this way, but the black is calling to me. You can't help but feel like you could get lost so easy. It's like so foggy. Like you're literally in the clouds. There's caves and boulders everywhere. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's like crazy. Look at you guys.
Oh my goodness.
That's so scary. So, we're in Harriman State Park, right outside of New York City. And I had a campground that I was going to stay at down here. Then I found out you can't check in after 3, and it was 4 when I found that out. So, you know, probably should plan better. But anyway, that just means we are forced to do something more adventurous, which is all around the park there are shelters, like lean-tos, that were built quite a while ago, I think. You gotta hike into them to stay there. So we are going to get our bare necessities, and we're gonna hike into this spot. There might be other people there, I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna camp up there. So we're headed up. Looks like it's about a half a mile up a hill. It's beautiful up here. Great views of the mountain, or the hills, whatever you want to call them. been a while since I hiked with a big, heavy backpack, though. This is just like an hour outside of New York City. It's crazy. I didn't even know this existed. So that's the lodge right there. Guess we'll see if anybody's there. There's campsites everywhere around here, so. So there's a lodge. I'm not sure if anybody else is here. There's somebody's stuff's here. But I can't tell if that's been left here or if somebody's just taking a walk. Seems a little odd. Either way, I don't want to intrude on anybody's camp spot. But there's literally camp spots like dotted everywhere. It's actually pretty cool. I kind of wish there were people up here. It's gonna be a lonely time if there's not. So yeah, here we have it. I don't think this is oh, this tent's wet. I wonder if it came through this patched roof here. This is one of the lodges though. Up here at Harriman State Park. Somebody's, I can't figure out. This has got like some gross beans in it or something. It looks like it's been there for a while. Pack out your trash. But yeah, it looks like people have left some stuff. There's a nice axe right there. Tea kettle. It's just stuff you guess you would need. People trying to make some repairs. Graffiti. Definitely a bit worried about the bears. So I'm just gonna I brought some food up. I'm just gonna cook it. Maybe somewhere else. And it looks like they got, over here, they got like some ropes to hang your packs from so the bears can't get to them. So yeah, this is what it is up here. I want to get some fires going. I don't have any firewood. Obviously people have scavenged a lot of everything. But I think we got service up here at least. We can start as many fires. We can start 3 fires. Depends how much wood we can find. It's pretty wet. Looks like it rained up here recently. Only thing is, I gotta take a shit, which I did not prepare for. So, I guess that's for the bears, huh? We're gonna look for firewood, scour for firewood, and put the pack up there while we do. I have a little something here. Not that that's really a great idea to use on a bear, but if worse comes to worse, we got pepper spray. So it's a little wet, but we've hit a mother lode down here. Look at that. Yeah, we're gonna have to take this camps all the way up there. But luckily there's some. Better than nothing. Tonight, look at that behind me. Got planes from New York flying overhead. High traffic. Got a fire going. found that wood we found. We got that fire. Got the tent set up. There it is in the platform in there. There we go, there's dinner. Cooking up. I'm risking it. I'm risking my life to eat. Look how bright it is, it's crazy. That's New York City for you. So we did make it through the night. Completely fine. No bears. I saw a couple cockroaches in this bitch, but. Look at that fucker. Just drove through Peaksville. I don't know what to recommend, y'all. If you haven't taken many trips to weird areas, you should do it because this place is wild. I've never seen anywhere like it in my life. It's like New York City on the side of a mountain going into the Hudson. It's just such a weird, roads are horrible. Here we are in this real nice campground. Something on my shirt. Beaver Pond Campground. Same park we were in last night. But this time we're around people. We're gonna make some food. Sunflowers, not doing so well. Are you crazy, dude? So that was the Chang Yen Monastery. Thought we'd go up and sat in there and meditated for a little bit. Pretty cool. We're going to get a view of the Hudson. Should be one of the best views of the Hudson, seeing as the two biggest mountains are right here. I just went to Beacon, which is 30 minutes from Peekskill, or we're going to the Bashar retreat. Beacon is completely different. That's exactly what I was expecting. Beacon is really nice, really cute. Lots of artsy stuff and places to eat. I went to a diner and had lunch. I didn't film anything there. Really nice though. Peekskill. Compared to Beacon. Beacon's through that mountain. You go through a tunnel, it's on the other side. So literally, I think that's a piece of shrimp. Well, it definitely is a piece of shrimp. There's pieces of shrimp everywhere. I don't taste any salt. It's actually really nice. Really good temperature. Free shrimp, good temperature. That might have just been shrimp somebody threw in, which is weird. I don't know. So, those few video clips that I showed was the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. If you like high vibrational, psychedelic art, oh my god. I mean, that literally was mind upgrading. I got a headache in there because of how much it's light codes and light languages. Highly recommend going in there. It's a bit intimidating actually. Yeah, I was literally crying in there. It was pretty moving, the art. And you can actually meet the artist, and forgive me, I can't remember his name, but really cool. They have a little psychedelic museum in the back, and there's stuff from Terrence McKenna and Ram Dass that's signed to him. And they have like Terrence McKenna's glasses. It was just insane. It was very, very cool. So, little update. All my stuff got wet last night when I was camping. So, you know how it goes. No, I wanted to get an Airbnb anyway. For the Bashar retreat, which is tomorrow. We made it all the way through the week. I didn't really film much yesterday or today. Just that little bit at the beginning of the day. Yesterday, helped some people build fires at the campground in near New York City, over there. People can't build fires. It's crazy. I don't really know where I am either. It's actually so cool. You never know what a place is like until you walk around at night. That's just my opinion. Here's my wristband. Yeah, I just got back from that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It was cool to see so many people acknowledging these new belief systems. I've never been able to integrate and learn all these things with other people, so that was pretty awesome. You know, and just some of the basic information that everyone accepts as facts that a lot of people don't know yet still. And for my whole life I've been saying, and people have been calling me, not crazy, but people have not believed what I'm saying. You know, that we're all one being, that we're all God, and people were applauding that. And a lot of mind-opening stuff for people. And it was cool to see so many people engaging with that. So that was awesome. This is basically the end of the week. You know, the end of the first week of following your highest excitement, which led me here to the Bashar tree, and I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't that impressed with it. My excitement to go to it was greater than the actual event. One thing that did happen that was a little weird, I accidentally sat in the wrong seat, which happened to put me next to this lady who was telling me about an experience she had, sort of an alien contact experience. And I wouldn't have had this conversation with her if I hadn't accidentally sat in the wrong seat. And so I thought that was pretty cool. So the adventure continues. Lucky for you, because you get more boring content like this. Yeah. So what I've learned this week from doing this, which has been a lot more than a year of doing this, you know, I learned more this week and lived more this week than I have in an entire year. So that's the first thing that's pretty cool. Even though it was rough at some points this week, I learned a lot. I went to that Buddhist monastery, which you probably remember in this video. I barely remember it. You go into that temple and there's that giant statue of Buddha, and there's all those other Buddha statues, and there's people like worshiping and praying to the statues, offering them flowers. And I thought Buddhism was about self-inquiry and like meditation. And what are we doing praying to these statues? Like, and I get the culture of it, and it's cool. But it's not like Buddha was born there. It's not like it was the birthplace of Buddha. It's just statues of Buddha. And yeah, that might have some energy and significance, but that is not what Buddhism is about, I didn't think. There was something very boring and dull about it. And even you'd think going into that space with that giant statue of Buddha, and it would be like very spiritual, and you'd be able to feel the energy. Like you do maybe when you go certain locations. Like I do. Like I have when I've gone certain locations. But it was whatever, you know. I wouldn't go back to that place, to be honest with you. It was very cool. But it was almost like a shell, you know. I have a higher vibration when I'm going to the bar. And like actually interacting with people and learning things, you know. Or when I'm watching a movie sometimes. And it was the same at the Bashar retreat. Now some people were really into it. I've watched a lot of his videos. There was nothing said there today that really expanded my consciousness. There was a couple really cool things that were said. He was talking about a civilization on Earth that was non-human. Somebody asked him this question about an ancient civilization that was non-human, that were DNA manipulators, and the artifact that they would have left behind was an octopus, that they manipulated DNA into this being and created the octopus and left it on planet Earth to see what would happen, which that's freaking awesome. So that was cool. But is that really a consciousness expanding, or just more information to add to the pool? That was cool. But a lot of the information, you know, I already have. People ask a lot of questions that I've already seen. It was almost like a Groundhog Day. Like I was there in person watching the same thing that I've seen on YouTube. And honestly, when I'm sitting on YouTube watching it, I've had more of a mind-blowing experience in the past. In summary, what I've realized is none of these external things are going to be a higher vibration than what I already know myself to be. High vibrations come from myself, from inside. And I can see that now. There's like this feeling of, I need to be on the forefront of reality. I need to be, like, I want to go to this event where everyone is preparing for alien contact. Like, that just seems awesome. It just seems so crazy. And I get there and I realize that me living my passion is of a higher vibration than this collective thing. And it was awesome to be a part of. But I think it's completed this cycle. It's just been a week, but already this cycle is completed. And so a new cycle is going to start next week. In this whole area, Hudson Valley, I had a lot of places flagged that I wanted to go to that I don't think we'll be going to. I'm done with it. I'm done with here. I think I went around enough. It's an awesome area. But I'm looking for something a little less congested. I think it's very congested here. I'm looking for something a little smaller, maybe. Its proximity to New York is cool. You know, I could stay here for a year. I could stay here for 100 years, exploring up and down this valley and never see it all, and going to the city, and I could stay here for 100 years. but nothing's really opened up. And it seems as though I'm supposed to go somewhere else. So I think that's what we'll be doing. And I think that's it. We're gonna find out what happens next, where excitement leads us next. To go get some food, I think, is the next place. But yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, thanks for watching.